Hi, friend. This might surprise you. You've been told seeds are the perfect health food. Tiny, natural, full of fiber, and omega-3s. They sound like nature's miracle in miniature. But what if I told you a few of them could quietly steal your strength instead? I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, and for over 25 years, I've helped older adults rebuild strength, restore circulation, and feel confident in their bodies again. According to a review from the University of Toronto, published in the Journal of Gerontology, some foods once celebrated as superfoods for heart health can quietly disrupt muscle function after 60, especially as digestion and protein absorption slow with age. That includes a few seeds you probably have in your kitchen right now. But here's the good news. Not every seed works against you. Some actually do the opposite, supporting strength, circulation, and recovery, naturally. And in this video, I'll show you 4 seeds to avoid completely, and 4 to eat every single day if you want to protect your muscles after 60. If this resonates, please like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Every comment helps more older adults find this message, and maybe find their strength again. Number 1. Chia seeds. The fiber trap that starves your muscles. For years, chia seeds have been called a miracle in a spoon. A tiny, ancient food that gives you energy, balances your sugar, and keeps you full. And that's true, to a point. But after 60, when your digestion and protein absorption naturally slow down, that same fullness can quietly become your enemy. Chia can fill your stomach, but starve your muscles. Here's what most people never realize. Each tablespoon of chia can absorb up to 10 times its weight in water. It forms a thick gel in your stomach that slows digestion. Now, for blood sugar control, that sounds great. But for muscle repair, it's the opposite of what you need. When you eat protein, your muscles wait for one signal: a sharp rise of amino acids, especially leucine, in your bloodstream. That rise is what flips on the muscle-building switch called protein synthesis. But when chia's gel wraps around your meal, that signal gets muffled. Amino acids arrive late, or not enough. Your body thinks you ate less protein than you really did. And it doesn't stop there. That gel also fills your stomach so much that you often eat less of the good stuff: the eggs, the yogurt, the fish that actually feed your muscles. So day after day, you're full, but your strength slowly fades. It's a quiet kind of malnutrition. Not from lack of food, but from misplaced timing. I remember Luis, a 71-year-old patient who started every day with a big jar of chia pudding. He said, "Doc, it keeps me light. I don't overeat." But he also said his legs were weaker, stairs felt harder, and he was napping more. When I looked at his breakfast, it was all chia and fruit, no protein. So we flipped it. He started with 2 eggs and a small bowl of Greek yogurt first. Only after his walk, he had a teaspoon of soaked chia with berries. 3 weeks later, he told me, "Doc, my legs don't feel heavy anymore." He smiled and said, "I'm not stuffed. I'm steady." That's the lesson. For older adults, protein first, fiber second. The order matters as much as the food itself. If you still enjoy chia, here's how to make it work for you. Use 1 teaspoon, not a tablespoon. Always soak it first in water or milk for at least 10 minutes before eating. Let it expand outside your body, not inside. Take it away from protein-heavy meals, ideally as a light afternoon snack or with fruit, not at breakfast when your body needs amino acids most. And if you notice bloating, reflux, or that too full to eat feeling, that's your body saying, "Enough for now." Chia isn't bad, it's just misunderstood. The same property that makes it famous, its fiber, can block the very nutrients your muscles are begging for after 60. Think of it like a sponge. useful in small amounts. But if it soaks up too much, nothing else gets through. So, don't fear the seed, just guide it. Let it serve your strength, not steal it. Because after 60, fullness isn't the goal. Nourishment is. And once you understand that, you'll never look at healthy the same way again. Now, if chia muffles your body's signal to build muscle, the next seed blocks something even deeper: the minerals your muscles depend on. Number 2, flax seeds, the anti-absorption trap that blocks your muscle fuel. Flax seeds are often called a superfood. They're rich in omega-3s, fiber, and lignans, all the words that sound good on a label. But here's what most people never realize. Flax can only help if your body can reach what's inside it. And for most older adults, it never does. You see, flax has one of the toughest shells in the plant world. If you eat it whole, it can pass straight through your system almost unchanged, like a tiny armored capsule. That means all those healthy fats, amino acids, and minerals stay locked inside, never feeding your muscles or circulation. You see it, you swallow it, but you don't really absorb it. And even when it's ground, flax carries phytic acid and lignans, natural compounds that can bind to the very minerals your muscles rely on most: magnesium, zinc, and iron. Those minerals are the ignition keys for strength. They power enzymes that tell your muscles when to contract, when to relax, and how to make energy. Without them, the spark behind every movement dims. A study from the University of Copenhagen showed that diets high in unprocessed flax reduced magnesium absorption by up to 20% in older adults. That might sound small, but over months it can mean weaker nerve signals, slower recovery, and more fatigue even when you eat enough protein. I remember Clara, 68, who proudly told me she added 2 tablespoons of flax to her oatmeal every morning. She said, "I'm doing this for my heart." But she also said her hands cramped more often and her energy dipped in the afternoon. When we tested her, her magnesium was low, even though her diet looked perfect. We switched her to ground flax, 1 teaspoon at a time, paired with pumpkin seeds and yogurt instead of oatmeal alone. 6 weeks later, the cramps were gone. She laughed and said, "Doc, I didn't know a seed could steal what I already had." That's the quiet truth. Flax isn't bad. It's unavailable when eaten wrong. And the danger isn't just wasted nutrients, it's interference. When phytic acid binds minerals, it also blunts the enzymes that help convert food into muscle energy, the ATP your cells depend on. It's like trying to start a car when the battery cable is loose. The spark is there, but it never reaches the engine. If you want flax to work for you instead of against you, here's what helps. Grind it fresh. Flax oil turns rancid fast. Always grind small amounts right before eating or buy pre-milled and refrigerate. Limit the dose. 1 to 2 teaspoons a day are plenty. More doesn't mean better. Pair it smartly. Combine flax with calcium-rich foods like yogurt or almond milk, and add a pinch of magnesium through pumpkin or sunflower seeds. Timing matters. Use it later in the day, not with your morning protein, to avoid blocking amino acid uptake. Flax has potential: omega-3s, fiber, antioxidants, but like many superfoods, it's all about form and context. When you grind it, pair it, and portion it right, it supports your system. But left whole or overused, it quietly ties up the minerals that keep your muscles alive. So don't let a good seed become a silent thief. Because what your muscles need isn't more fiber, it's access. And speaking of access, the next seed shows what happens when your blood flow itself is blocked from within. Number 3, sunflower seeds, the inflammation trap hiding behind salt and oil. For many people, sunflower seeds are comfort food. A handful during a walk, something to chew while watching TV, or a snack that feels healthy because it's natural. They taste good, they're plant-based, and they carry that same promise: fiber, protein, vitamin E. But for older adults, especially after 60, there's a hidden problem inside those roasted shells: inflammation. Most commercial sunflower seeds are roasted in vegetable oil and heavily salted. That process drives their omega-6 content through the roof, while stripping away delicate antioxidants. Omega-6 isn't evil. You need some of it. But balance is everything. When omega-6 far outweighs omega-3, your body shifts toward inflammatory chemistry. Cytokines rise, vessels tighten, and circulation stiffens. Blood doesn't glide, it grinds. And when that happens, your muscles lose their rhythm. In younger years, your body could buffer that imbalance. But with age, enzymes that convert fats into anti-inflammatory molecules slow down. So what used to be harmless snacking can now quietly amplify joint pain, swelling, and muscle soreness after even mild activity. A 2022 analysis from the Mayo Clinic proceedings found that adults with high omega-6 to omega-3 ratios had significantly greater levels of C-reactive protein, the marker that tracks chronic inflammation, and reported lower grip strength. The connection was clear. Inflammation starves circulation, and weak circulation starves muscle. I remembered Gerald, 73, who always kept a jar of roasted sunflower seeds on his desk. He'd snack on them all day, thinking they were better than chips. But he also complained his ankles puffed up and his hands ached at night. We checked his labs, triglycerides high, CRP elevated. I asked him to swap the salted seeds for a small mix of walnuts and pumpkin seeds instead. Within a month, the swelling eased and his morning stiffness nearly disappeared. He grinned and said, "Doc, I didn't change much, just what I crunch on." That's the thing. Inflammation doesn't announce itself loudly. It creeps in, a little joint heat, slower recovery, restless sleep. And sunflower seeds, roasted and salted, quietly feed that fire. Here's how to turn the habit around without giving up the crunch. Check the label. Look for dry roasted, unsalted, or no added oil. Keep the portion small, a small handful, not a cup. Balance the fats. For every serving of sunflower, make sure you get an omega-3 source that day: salmon, sardines, or even a teaspoon of flax oil, not whole flax. Hydrate and move. Inflammation thickens the blood. Water and gentle motion thin it naturally. Sunflower seeds can still have a place. They bring vitamin E, selenium, and satisfaction. But they should play background, not lead. Your circulation is the stage on which your strength performs. Keep it clear, and every muscle gets its cue. Because power isn't just built, it's delivered. And when inflammation slows that delivery, strength fades even when you're doing everything right. Now that we've seen how hidden oils and salt can choke the bloodstream, let's look at one last healthy seed that crosses a different line, the one between balance and excess. Number 4, hemp seeds, the overdose of good fats that quietly thins your rhythm. Hemp seeds sound like the perfect upgrade. A modern superfood rich in healthy fats, plant protein, and minerals. They show up in smoothies, granola, and heart-healthy snack bars. And yes, in small amounts, they can support muscle repair. But in larger doses, and especially when combined with other omega-6 heavy foods, hemp can quietly thin your blood, slow recovery, and weaken your rhythm. Here's what happens. Hemp seeds are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, the same family that sunflower oil belongs to. You do need some omega-6 for hormone balance, but hemp's ratio is high, about 3 times more omega-6 than omega-3. That imbalance makes your body favor inflammatory pathways instead of the anti-inflammatory ones powered by omega-3. Over time, circulation becomes sluggish, swelling lingers longer after activity, and the repair signals that tell muscles to grow fade. For most people under 40, the body can compensate. But after 60, your liver clears fats more slowly, and enzymes that balance clotting and repair work less efficiently. So the same smoothie that once boosted energy can now quietly thin your blood too much, especially if you already take aspirin, warfarin, or natural blood thinners like garlic or fish oil. That's where hemp crosses the line from helpful to harmful. A small paper from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology found that high daily hemp oil intake increased bleeding time by 18% in older adults on mild blood-thinning medication. That doesn't mean hemp is dangerous, it means dose matters. I remember Robert, 69, a retired pilot who added 3 tablespoons of hemp to his morning shake because he'd heard it was the clean protein. He said, "Doc, my recovery feels slower lately, and I bruise easily." He didn't realize hemp's oils were stacking with his fish oil capsules and daily aspirin. We cut the hemp down to 1 teaspoon, balanced it with walnuts and spinach for natural omega-3s, and within a few weeks the bruises faded and his energy came back. He told me, smiling, "I didn't need to quit, I just needed balance." That's exactly it. Hemp isn't poison, it's potent. In small amounts, it supports your heart, skin, and hormones. But when the ratio tips too far, it muddies the blood your muscles rely on to heal. Here's how to keep it in harmony. Use 1 teaspoon, not a heaping spoon. Sprinkle, don't scoop. Skip the oils. Hemp oil concentrates the same fats and overwhelms your balance quickly. Pair with omega-3 foods like walnuts, salmon, or chia in small hydrated doses. Check your meds. If you're on any blood thinner, ask your doctor before adding hemp daily. Watch recovery signs. Easy bruising, dizziness, or longer soreness are signals to back off. Think of your circulation like an orchestra. If the violins play too loud, the rest of the music loses rhythm. Omega-6 plays that same part. Beautiful when blended, chaotic when alone. Your job isn't to silence it, just to tune it. So don't fear hemp. Guide it. Let moderation turn it back into medicine. Because every heartbeat depends on rhythm, and every rhythm needs balance. Now that we've uncovered the 4 seeds that quietly steal your strength, it's time to reset. Because if these take strength away, the next 4 rebuild it. The seeds ahead don't clog or confuse. They feed, protect, and remind your muscles how to live again. Good seed. Number 1. Almonds, the protector that shields your muscles from stress and time. After hearing about the seeds that take strength away, it's time to meet the ones that give it back. And the first of these is simple, familiar, and often underestimated. The almond. Almonds have been part of human diets for thousands of years, long before the term superfood existed. But modern science has started to catch up with what ancient cultures already knew. Almonds don't just feed your body, they protect it. Especially after 60, when oxidative stress and poor circulation begin to wear down muscle fibers, almonds act like quiet bodyguards on the inside. Here's why. Each almond carries vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy monounsaturated fats, a trio that works like an internal shield. Vitamin E defends your muscle membranes from oxidative damage, the same wear and tear that makes muscles slower to recover with age. Magnesium keeps your nerves and muscle fibers in sync, helping contractions stay smooth and coordinated. And those gentle fats stabilize cell walls and hormones that drive energy and mood. A study from the University of California, Davis followed older adults who ate a small handful of almonds daily for 12 weeks. The results were subtle but powerful. Lower markers of inflammation, improved grip strength, and quicker recovery after light exercise. The participants didn't grow new muscles overnight. They simply lost less of what mattered most. That's what almonds do best. They protect the muscle you already have. I think of Marie, 67, who came to me saying her muscles felt tired all the time. She wasn't weak, just easily drained. Her breakfast was coffee and toast. She'd snack on crackers later. We swapped that for a handful of almonds mid-morning and one after her afternoon walk. Within a month, she told me, "Doc, I don't fade in the afternoons anymore." Her blood sugar was steadier, her hands steadier too. She said, smiling, "It's such a small thing, but I can feel the difference." That's the quiet magic of consistency. It's not about big doses or complicated supplements. It's about giving your cells what they've been missing every single day. Here's how to make almonds work for you. 1 handful a day is enough, around 15 to 20 nuts. Keep them raw or lightly roasted. Heavy salt or sugar coatings undo their benefit. Pair them with protein, like yogurt or cottage cheese, for a slow, sustained release of amino acids. Stay hydrated. Vitamin E works best when your blood moves freely. Listen to your digestion. If they feel heavy, soak them overnight to soften the fiber and ease absorption. Almonds aren't about building bulk. They're about preserving resilience. They remind your body that stability can still feel strong. In every crunch is a quiet message to your muscles. You're still protected. And when protection is in place, circulation can flourish. Which brings us to the next seed. One that doesn't just guard your strength, but actively fuels it. Good seed number 2. Walnuts, the natural energy current that turns your blood into power. If almonds are the armor, walnuts are the current that flows beneath it. They don't just protect your muscles, they energize them from the inside out. Think of walnuts as nature's battery pack for circulation and performance. Here's why. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that supports the same pathways as the EPA and DHA found in fish. ALA helps your body create nitric oxide, the molecule that signals blood vessels to relax and open. And when those vessels open, more oxygen, nutrients, and life reach your muscles. Your hands feel warmer, your legs recover faster, and that old heaviness that comes after walking upstairs begins to fade. That's what healthy circulation feels like. Not fast, but free. A study from the Harvard School of Public Health followed adults over 60 who consumed a small serving of walnuts 5 times a week. Their results showed improved endothelial function, that's how flexible your blood vessels are, and better endurance scores after 16 weeks. In plain language, blood flow improved, fatigue decreased. No stimulants, no caffeine, just steady cellular power. It's easy to underestimate the effect. After all, how could a nut change how you walk? But your muscles are only as strong as the blood that reaches them. Every contraction depends on oxygen, every recovery on delivery. And walnuts turn that delivery system back on. I remember Patricia, 74, who told me, "Doc, my legs feel like they belong to someone else. Slow, heavy." She was eating well, moving daily, but her circulation markers were low. We added just 5 walnuts a day, along with a short walk after lunch. 6 weeks later, she said, "It sounds silly, but my legs don't ache in the evenings anymore." She didn't lift heavier weights or change her meds. She changed her blood's rhythm. That's the quiet beauty of walnuts. They work where most people forget to look. In the endothelium. the paper-thin lining of your vessels. When that lining relaxes, everything downstream, your heart, your muscles, your brain, gets nourished again. To make walnuts work for you, 5 whole walnuts a day are enough, about a small handful. Keep them fresh. Walnuts turn rancid easily. Store them in a cool, dark place or the fridge. Combine with vitamin C foods like berries or citrus. It enhances nitric oxide stability. Don't over-toast them. Heat destroys their fragile omega-3 oils. Pair them with light movement. A short walk within 15 minutes of eating improves circulation synergy. Walnuts don't give you the rush of coffee or sugar. They give you flow. That gentle, steady power your muscles remember from decades ago. And when flow returns, fatigue fades. Your body starts to move with grace again. Because strength isn't just stored in muscle. It's carried in the bloodstream. And the next seed takes that same idea even further. It doesn't just carry nutrients. It builds the muscle fibers themselves. Good seed. Number 3. Pumpkin seeds. The builder every muscle cell remembers. If almonds protect and walnuts power, pumpkin seeds rebuild. They're small, green, and often ignored at the bottom of snack mixes. But inside each one lives the exact nutrients your body needs to repair and preserve muscle after 60. You could call them nature's reconstruction crew. Pumpkin seeds are rich in protein, magnesium, zinc, and iron, the 4 pillars of muscle maintenance. Protein gives the raw material, magnesium keeps contractions smooth, zinc activates the enzymes that spark growth, and iron carries oxygen straight into the fibers. Together, they rebuild what time tries to take away. Here's why this matters so much after 60. Your body becomes less efficient at using the protein you eat. The switch that tells your cells to build, the mTOR pathway, needs more stimulation to turn on. And that signal depends on both amino acids and minerals. Without zinc and magnesium, even a protein-rich meal can fail to reach the muscle. That's why pumpkin seeds quietly close the loop. They bring in the missing cofactors so your muscles can actually use the nutrition you give them. A 2021 study from the University of Tokyo found that older adults who increased their zinc intake by just 20% improved their leg muscle density and grip strength over 12 weeks, without changing their exercise. The improvement wasn't from more protein, it was from better activation. Pumpkin seeds do exactly that. I think of Janet, 70, who told me, "I eat my protein, but I still feel soft." She walked daily, ate well, but she was always tired after chores. We added 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds in her afternoon yogurt. Simple. 4 weeks later, she said, "Doc, I don't collapse after gardening anymore." My hands don't shake. Her energy was stable because her muscles were finally being fed, not just filled. That's the difference between food that satisfies hunger and food that sustains strength. To make pumpkin seeds work for you, 2 tablespoons a day are enough, plain, roasted, or sprinkled on yogurt or salads. Avoid heavy salt. Sodium cancels the mineral advantage. Pair them with vitamin C, like orange slices or berries. It helps your body absorb the iron. Use them between meals, not always at the end of protein-rich dishes. They perform best when digestion isn't already slowed. And if you have trouble chewing, blend them into a smoothie. The minerals remain just as powerful. Pumpkin seeds don't just rebuild. They remind your body how to rebuild. Every bite tells your muscles, you still have the blueprint. That's the hope I want you to carry. Your body never forgot how to stay strong. It just needs the right materials again. And the final seed in this series brings that full circle. It's not just a supplement for recovery. It's a foundation for endurance, combining every amino acid your body once made easily but now struggles to maintain. Good seed number 4. Quinoa, the complete seed that keeps your strength alive for decades. Among all the foods people call super, few truly earn the title. But quinoa, the golden seed of the Andes, comes close. It's not a grain, though most treat it like one. It's a complete seed, with the rare balance of amino acids, minerals, and plant compounds that your body needs to rebuild itself. Quietly, steadily, and naturally. What makes quinoa so special for adults over 60 is that it contains all 9 essential amino acids, including one that many older bodies struggle to absorb: lysine. Lysine is the amino acid that keeps collagen strong, supports tendon elasticity, and helps your body use calcium and zinc for muscle growth. In simpler words, lysine keeps your body stitched together. Without it, even the best protein shakes can leave your muscles underpowered. But quinoa goes one step further. Inside it lives a plant compound called ecdysteroid, sometimes nicknamed the natural anabolic. It doesn't act like a hormone. It acts like a reminder. It helps your body reignite the same muscle-building gene pathways that tend to fall silent with age, the ones that respond to activity, protein, and recovery. In a small study from the University of Moscow, older adults who replaced refined grains with quinoa for 8 weeks saw a measurable rise in lean muscle mass and leg strength, even without increasing total calories. Their bodies simply started using nutrients better. That's the quiet genius of quinoa. It improves efficiency. Every bite helps your body remember how to do what it once did naturally: recover, rebuild, renew. I think of Caroline, 72, who told me, "I'm always tired by afternoon, even when I eat right." Her diet was heavy on toast, rice, and fruit. Easy to digest, but incomplete. We replaced half her rice at lunch with quinoa, added olive oil and spinach, and she started noticing something surprising. "Doc, I don't get the 3 p.m. crash anymore." Her blood sugar was steady, her energy smooth, and within a month she said, "I can walk longer without stopping to rest." That's not magic. That's metabolism remembering its rhythm. To make quinoa work for you, it's all about timing, texture, and combination. Start with half a cup cooked, about the size of your palm. Rinse before cooking. This removes saponins, bitter compounds that can irritate digestion. Pair it with protein. Mix with eggs, chicken, or legumes to amplify the amino acid balance. Add color. Combine with greens or red peppers. Antioxidants support the same cellular repair pathways that quinoa activates. Cook with broth, not just water. A touch of salt and minerals helps your body retain hydration and electrolytes. If you think of your body as a house, quinoa is the material that repairs both walls and wiring, the structure and the signal. It feeds muscle fibers, but it also nourishes nerves, connective tissue, and circulation. It's not heavy like bread, and it doesn't spike your sugar like rice. It gives steady, usable power. Here's the metaphor I often use with my patients. Your strength is like a song your body once knew by heart. Quinoa helps you remember the tune. And that's exactly what it does. It doesn't create something new. It reactivates what's been quiet. Every meal becomes a message. Your body still knows how to build, if you give it the right cues. So, in this series of 8 seeds, we've seen 2 kinds of stories: the ones that steal strength quietly, and the ones that give it back even more quietly. The dangerous seeds fill, block, or inflame. The good ones feed, protect, and restore. And now that you've seen both sides, let's bring them together. into a simple daily rhythm you can follow starting tomorrow morning. Because nutrition only matters when it becomes habit. Here's how to weave these seeds into your day. A practical plan for strength, energy, and flow after 60. Let's turn that knowledge into rhythm. Because muscle doesn't respond to theory, it responds to repetition. Morning. Feed before you fill your body wakes hungry for protein, not fiber. Start with 2 eggs or Greek yogurt, then add a small handful of almonds. This simple pairing flips on your body's build switch. Amino acids flow, magnesium steadies your nerves, and vitamin E protects your muscle cells from early stress. Drink water before coffee. Think of it as oiling the gears before motion. Hydration brings blood to your muscles faster than any supplement can. And if you take vitamin D3 or B12, morning light helps them work their quiet chemistry. Midday. Flow. Don't rush. Lunch is your circulation hour. Add 5 walnuts to your plate or salad. They open your vessels, soften inflammation, and help nutrients travel. Pair them with greens like spinach for natural nitrates and a slow lift in energy. After you eat, take a 10-minute walk. It's not exercise, it's activation. Keeping blood in motion so every cell receives its share of oxygen. Blood is rhythm, and rhythm is life. Afternoon. Rebuild, don't crash. This is when energy usually dips. Skip the coffee. Reach for 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds in yogurt or a smoothie. They restore magnesium and zinc, the cofactors that spark your muscle recovery. If you still enjoy chia or flax, use 1 small soaked teaspoon here, not with breakfast. Prehydrated fiber calms digestion without blocking protein absorption later. Take 5 quiet minutes outdoors. Sunlight and breath are nutrients too. Evening. Repair through rest. Dinner is about gentle strength, not volume. Try salmon or lentils with quinoa, a complete mix of protein and slow carbs. Finish with a few walnuts or almonds, then stretch lightly or walk a few steps before bed. That's when your body begins its real work, rebuilding quietly while you rest. You don't need perfection, only rhythm. Miss a day? Your body forgives. Because strength isn't a project, it's a pattern. And every glass of water, every handful of almonds, every quiet walk sends the same message. You're still capable. You're still rebuilding. And as that rhythm settles in, you'll feel it. Lighter mornings, steadier energy, and a quiet confidence that strength never left you. It was only waiting for rhythm to return. Now let's bring this story full circle. What all of this truly means for your journey forward. If you've stayed with me this far, you already understand something most people never do. Strength after 60 isn't lost. It's just asleep. And food, rhythm, and awareness are how you wake it again. You've seen both sides of the story, the seeds that steal strength quietly, and the ones that return it gently. The chia and flax that block your signals, the sunflower and hemp that clog or thin your rhythm, and then the almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and quinoa. Each one a small reminder that nourishment can still mean power. Because aging doesn't erase your body's ability to adapt. It just changes the instructions. And when you feed your cells the right language, protein, minerals, flow, rest, they respond like they always have. I've seen it for decades. Patients in their 70s climbing stairs easier, walking longer, or simply waking up with clearer energy. Not because they chased youth, but because they started listening. If this message resonates with you, take a second to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. You never know whose strength could come back with one small change. And if you'd like, tell me in the comments. Which seed surprised you most today? That one moment of reflection can become someone else's turning point tomorrow. Your body hasn't forgotten how to be strong. It's still waiting for your signal. One meal, one step, one breath at a time. Because strength isn't a memory of your past. It's a rhythm you can return to. And the truth is simple. Your body remembers how to be strong. You just have to remind it.